so much, Professor Dr. Sheikh Abdul Rahman, Principal, Nirmala College of Pharmacy, for your beautiful invitation, and that too 6 to 7 months prior. I really I saw so many peoples in Andhra Pradesh in other places, but he is in different type of persons to do the development for the infrastructures and the skill development for the students as well as the faculty member in the state of Andhra Pradesh. First of all, congratulations, Dr. Raymond, for your first class presentations, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to deliver in this web platform. And prior to start my presentation on topic of this scope of entrepreneurship development in pharmaceutical sectors or other healthcare sectors and what is the current scenario and future directions, I extend my gratitude and thanks to the management of Nirmala College of Pharmacy for selecting me and giving me this opportunity to deliver this particular forum. Lastly, actually, I want to say my heartfelt thanks to the Andhra Pradesh State Skill Development Corporations, Department of Skill Development and Training, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for beautiful platforms given to our young students and young faculty members who are having some problems related to skills or technical skill development. This is the right forum. You can develop your skill, not only your technical skills. We people, what we are doing in teaching learning process, just developing the curriculum based educations, but whatever the gap is there after their diploma or degree or post graduation, before reaching to the corporate world or industry world, so this type of
Sir, mute lo, sir, you are on mute, sir.
now it is audible.
Yeah, yes, sir.
I think prior session is not audible.
Yeah, yes, now it's working, sir. Working, sir.
Yeah,
Voice is clear, sir.
no, prior what I have said not audible.
It's
Audible, sir. Audible,
audible,
sir.
audible, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you, thank you. So anyhow, I can tell you the certain things prior to start my presentation. The first thing is that winners, never quit and quitters never win. That means if you have will or if you have zeal to do something, anywhere, any place is possible. So like that, Dr. Rahman is having, some kind of willness and having some kind of, honesty towards his profession, and he is developing the infrastructure and institutions in the national repute. And dear friends, may know the background sound is coming, sir. Sorry.
Please
Yeah,
unmute your voice, please. Yeah, you can
yeah.
continue, sir.
So, yeah, the best way to predict the future is to create it. That means if you want to create something, so you have to learn something. Without learning, there is difficult to learn something. So learning is important aspect of the life of the students as well as any professionals person. So the topic of is that scope of entrepreneurship development in pharmaceutical sectors or in other healthcare sectors. What is the current scenario and what is actually happening in India or in other places? So dear friends, dear delegates, or participants who are joining this forum, you will get beautiful informations about the today's session. So whatever my clue of presentations, I'll tell you. The first is what is the Indian healthcare landscape? What is the current scenario in India as regards to healthcare system? And what is the key challenges and growth drivers or enablers, investment opportunity, and my final concluding remarks. In our Indian system, day-to-day, process of activities, India facing high burden of disease because of lack of environmental sanitization or sanitation, safe drinking water, malnutrition, poor living conditions, and limited access to preventive and curative health services. And apart from that, lack of education, gender inequality, explosive growth of populations contribute to increasing burden of diseases. Apart from that, full impact of the HIV epidemics and tobacco-related diseases is to be felt. These are the major concerns. Because of this, we are facing some of the health-related issues today, tomorrow, or in the coming future. So we have to avoid all these things. And the next other major health problem in India is that communicable disease problems, nutritional problems, environmental sanitation problems, medications care problems, populations problem. But if we compare the Indian healthcare problems and other country developing countries, it's completely different because the expenditures on health by the government continues to be low. It is not viewed as an investment, but rather than as a debt loss. Other health related issue is that state under financial constraints cut expenditures on health. Growth in national income by itself is not enough. If the benefit do not manifest themselves in the form of more food, better access to health and education, then this type of problem you may not face. So these are the key challenges. In India has 48 doctors per 1 lakh persons, which is fewer than in developed nations. Wider urban and rural gap in the availability of medical services, that is inequality. Poor facilities even in large government institutions compared to corporate hospitals because of lack of funds, and the management system is very poor, and due to involvement of. So can you mute the persons who is creating the background sound? Hello.
Sir, audible, sir.
No, audible. Somebody is actually mute in the middle of the session, so please you
No,
mute
sir.
everybody. Yeah.
No. Okay, sir.
Yeah, okay. And other issues related to healthcare problem in India is that poor facility even in large government institutions compared to corporate hospitals, and because of crisis of the funds and diversified involvement of
Hello.
the management, politicals and bureaucratics interference, lack of leaderships in medical communities. So that's why we should cautious about that. And despite that devastating that post COVID-19 or HIV and AIDS is having across the globe, including African countries, as a result of this, what happens, overall health will continue to improve steadily during the coming decades. So what are the major problems with in US countries actually in healthcare systems because of preventive medications errors, poor amenables mortality rates, lack of transparencies, difficulties in finding a good doctors, high cost of cares, lack of insurance coverage. Raymond sir, hello.
Sir, one of the Gayatri is there. Gayatri, unmute yourself. Gayatri.
Sir,
Yeah, actually in the middle some sound is coming, sir.
Yes, sir. That's what I am looking here. Kameshwarao, sir.
sir, okay.
Unmute yourself.
Sir, please unmute yourselves, all of you, sir. Only presenter is. Okay, you
Shravan
continue, sir.
Kumar, Divya. So
Sir,
unmute yourself. Divya Padala. Shravan Kumar, VJDM. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay, anyhow, sorry for the interruptions from my side. So if you'll see the market size and growth and infrastructure needs for the current scenario in the healthcare or in paramedical field, so the growing at about 15% compound annual growth rate. And in healthcare market is expected to reach about more than 120 US dollar billions by the end of 2021 and should continue to double by every 5 years for the next consecutive 10 years. If you see the Indian healthcare market from 2010 to 2025, if you expect up to 2025, how it is gradually improvement about the compound annual growth rate. Every year, that is, you see here, 2010, that is 60, then it is double, 120, then 240, then 480. We are expecting. Okay. So these things, if you'll see the pie chart about this market size, growth, and infrastructure in healthcare system in India. So the pharmaceuticals, that is 9 billions, and this the entire healthcare delivery system is much more impact in as regards to entrepreneurship, and 5 billion US dollars in the medical equipments. And if you see the existing scenario of the number of beds in the hospitals, 1.3, and additionals required today, that is 1.2, and needed by 2000 end of 2021 more than 3.6 million, and the number of doctors in current situation, that is 0.7. By end of this we are expecting 0.9 and more than 1.9 by end of 2021 because of the COVID crisis. N- Number of nurses, 1.5, 1.8 additional requirement by today, end of 2021 more than 3.7. So this informations I collected from National Health Account latest publication 2004 and 5, and in 2010 publications. And if you see the Indian healthcare and its transitions phase, initially there is conventional hospitals, now you see state of the art corporate hospitals. In prior to that, long stays at hospital, but now you short stay and outpatient surgical center is available. So this is the advancement in Indian healthcare system. On organized sectors, now it is organized sectors. Curatives, now it is preventive. Out of pocket payments, now insurer or employer paid. Because of sir, Raman sir, hello.
Sir.
Sir, you please tell to all the participants to everybody should mute their system or the audio system, because I'm getting disturbance.
Sir, dear students, please unmute yourselves. There is
Uh-huh.
some disturbance to the class. Please mute yourself, sir, by your mics also. Please, if you're not interested, please leave it. Please don't disturb to all others. Sir, you continue, sir.
Okay, sir, thank you. So if you'll see the travels to urban areas for treatments in the prior scenario, and currently that is availability of facilities in tier 2 or tier 3 cities. Lack of systems and accountabilities working towards the standardization. This is the development in the healthcare system, driven by supply and driven by demand, and no quality check on service on previous period. But if you'll see in the 2021 scenario, quality services, and due to the accreditations institutions or hospitals or in diagnostic centers, you're getting good facilities related to healthcare system. So entrepreneurship in healthcare system is huge demand. But if you see the Indian, map or in different regions of India, what is the healthcare system and the current scenario in different places? In the first thing is that in North and East are witnessing the change, increasing the investment in North and East India, because nowadays the most of the business people, they are interested to invest something in North Asian regions because of economic, special economic zones, or lack of infrastructures related to hospitals, primary, tertiary, or diagnostic centers. But the advancement you will get in more in South regions, more investment towards the healthcare system and number of beds and average size of providers, doctor facilities, nurses, and paramedical staff, technicians, and the occupancy. You will see in south regions is better as compared to north regions and other part of the country. And you see the private sectors takes the lead. Public and private share of hospitalizations, non-hospitalizations treatments and hospitalization treatments, and the percentage of treatment is much more higher in case of private hospitals as compared to government and other hospitals, and non-hospitalization treatment is better in you know
Okay.
because 60% of the populations today prefer to undergo hospitalizations in private hospital in Indian scenarios. Because prior to that, last 10 years or 15 years back, if you'll see, most of the people from rural and urban areas, they're going to government hospitals, but due to lack of facilities, so the death rate, mortality, morbidity rate is increasing. But nowadays, due to the more investment in healthcare sector or in paramedical field or in the medical field, so such things there is no loss. So that's why my viewpoint is that let us invest in these areas, basically public or in private sectors. You may get more realities, but what are the challenges before investing something as an entrepreneurs for this? The key issues in investing in healthcare sectors, for starting from infrastructures development in real estate, high cost impacting viabilities is one of the key issues. Next is non-availability in dense populations pockets, and the third one is adherence to statutory guidelines. You have to follow certain guidelines as per the statutory requirements. So next is workforce. Is regards to medicals, nursing, and allied health sciences. Professional manager is required for establishment of such hospitals, such diagnostic centers, or public hospitals. Inadequate skill sets. Next is what are the accreditations processes required for such type of investments. If you are not getting that NABHL or JCI or NABL certifications, you may not run your organizations or hospitals for a long time, because certified healthcare organizations is required prior to set up your healthcare system of or practice. Next is data for comparables. No central repository is required. No non-disclosures of sentinels events. Lack of enforcement for regulatory issues, antiquated legislations. So these are the key issues in investing in healthcare sectors. If you don't have such, then it is very difficult to start off the new entrepreneurships as regards to healthcare systems, because nowadays more medical colleges, and now we can attract more to FDI investments and student exchange programs due to this type of projects, or you may give special medical scheme and branding healthcare industries related to this type of entrepreneurships. Next is preserve and promote Ayurvedic medical systems, telemarketing or artificial intelligence, robotics, and social marketings, and you may arrange through your healthcare systems or new entrepreneurships business. You may initiate certain seminars and workshops, build awareness and stop corruptions. Winners never quit, and I told you quitters never wins. If you think that you want to start new business, then you'll face certain problems initially or certain challenges, because my biggest motivation is that this field is having huge demand in the next 10 to 15 years, because the best way to predict the future is to create it. So you have to create, and how to create, and what are the challenges, and what type of investment you do, in which way you have to invest, what is the segmentations of the investments, and the diversified areas in case of healthcare sectors. Let us plan properly. If you execute your plan in a systematic way, there is no failures. But sometimes our time is limited, and we don't waste the time it's living someone else's life, because if you not plan today, maybe somebody do today itself, and whatever you are planning nearby your place, somebody will start the same type of business and you may failure. So this is a competitive world and competitive market, so you have to see what is the market size and market potentials, and what is your impact, whether your business will impact to the beach or to the particular area or not. And based on that you have to plan it, and you have to see what is your strength, and what is your team, and how many personals you are involving, and what kind of plan you are planning for the futures. Everything you have to discuss with your teammates, and otherwise there is a chance of failure. So in addition to that, certain benefit also you have to give to your employees, like family health insurance and individual health insurance you may provide to your employees, so that there is a chance of growth of your organizations. And what are the growth drivers apart from this? If you see, if you are investing in healthcare sectors, what are the growth drivers? In population's growth 1.3%, increasing burden disease 2%, inflation's 8%, insurance coverage 1%, increasing accessibility is 3%, and all total that is 15 point something, that is 15%. So this is a regulatory impact, or you can increase the awareness among the peoples or among the societies, and you can upgrade, or you may graduates more students involvements or technical expert involvements, and you can expand the corporate from one small organizations to big organizations. So these are the growth drivers and the percentage of growth driven in different sectors. And if you see, the Indians consumers, part of the spending, and the share coverage household spends on healthcare in India is expected to increase from 7% to 10% in the next decades. See, in 2010, $800 billion, and in different fields. What about the food? We are investing our income, that is 40% in 2010, and personal products, you see, in the personal product 8%, and education's 7%. But nowadays, you see, in 2015 or in end of 2021, what is the investment? So our investment is gradually increasing towards the health, because whatever our income, so around 33% we are investing towards the for health issues. So that's why you have to think how, in which sectors the entrepreneurship will be more impact in the coming future or by this current year. So that's why opportunities is there. You have to invest in different areas. In healthcare delivery, you will see, you can start with single specialist hospitals, secondary care or tertiary care hospitals, neighborhood for clinics, diabetic centers, rehabilitation centers, daycare surgery centers, mother and child cares, medical colleges, nursing colleges, paramedicals, pharmacy colleges, or allied colleges. So other than that, you may start with new hospitals, and you can start with center of wellness and certain diagnostic center for laboratories, radiology, advanced imaging technologies, or in operational theater technologies. Or you may start with comprehensive diagnostic centers and other fields like operations and management, senior assistants, living and hospice and healthcare management consultings. IT is related to healthcare products and home healthcare deliveries and medical wellness travels, medical devices and equipments for selling and purchasing. So many opportunities there. But once you will start any one, so you have to plan your investment criteria. What is the criteria for investing in a new business, new entrepreneurship in healthcare sectors? First, you have to see the market potentials. Really, this investment will give the better income or not, and you have to see what is your resources abilities. Whether you have infrastructure or the land or manpowers or technical persons, or the surrounding is favorable to you, or government supporting to you or not, or the local MLA or MP is supporting for that or not. And scalability is very, very important. If you are not planning properly, so maybe there is a chance of failures. And return on investment initially may be less, but in the later stage you will get better. And exit valuations multiplications, because value propositions every year or every 5 years you get more. But you have to plan, and this is one of the important criteria for any kind of investments. and faster EBITDA break evens. That means net incomes or earnings with interest or taxes or depreciations or amortization. So these are the things you have to consider, and what is the patient awareness towards that areas. And next is the insurance coverage for the employees. I already told you. Next is exit opportunities and strategic skills. Next is exiting success stories. What is your stories you have to share to your employees, share to your teammates, so there is a chance of better business outcomes. If you see the other attractive investment opportunity in healthcare sectors, I told you these are the certain criterias. So based on these criterias, you may plan these things. If you are planning market potentials, so in eye care clinics, so there is a chance of high potentials, value propositions. You get more benefit on that. Daycare surgery center high, and home healthcare high, infertility treatments clinics high, lab and diagnostics you may get medium initially, cancer care that is high. So these are the certain investment opportunities. Where is the high, where is the low, and where is the failures, or there is a substantial growth. Based on that you may plan it. So in each and every sectors there is certain challenges and issues and or risks, and you have to plan accordingly. And if you are not diluting your professions, or if you are not showing your entire plan to your teammates, there is a chance of failures. Because sometimes whatever we are investing, if you are not getting with some kind of benefit, so there is a some kind of depression, some kind of tensions or hesitations. To break up all these things, you have to see where is the risks and where is the exits, valuations, multiplications or value propositions. So if you see my last part of discussions, that is my concluding remarks about this. Overall, we believe that an entrepreneurship development in healthcare sectors, that is what time to piece type, is sound and attractive due to the following reasons, dear friends. Almost more than 240 billion US dollars opportunity by end of 2021. Private sectors to remain the engine of growth for healthcare deliveries. Innovations needed in delivery of low cost and high impact business models. Government shift from providers to payers. And next is increased demands, enablers, awareness, and affordability levels. So these are the informations at the end of my presentations. I will share you, and you will see the pharma industry's last couple of days, how the top 15 pharmaceutical companies, the growing rate: Sun Pharma, Aurobindo, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Zydus Cadila, Intas, Glenmark, Torrance, Mankind, Biocon, Piramals, Wacker, Divis, like this. So all these companies, the growth rate, the investments towards their drug development, technology transfer, or whether it is a vaccine or manufacturing drugs, or MNC companies or collaborations or some kind of new innovations, new research, or in skill development, whatever may be. So in all the sectors, the growth rate is much more highest in most of the pharma company except few. But you see, why the people are more investing in pharma sectors? Because of this, because of high rate of income, high rate of royalties, or whatever you are investing in the initial period. In the first year itself you get more royalties compared to others. So that's why my personal suggestions for this particular skill development programs. So as you are the pharma area or domain of pharma or other paramedicals field, you may start your business in this particular field. And this is the blooming healthcare business ideas. After post-COVID, you may start for medical records management, or offer medical transcription services from your own place by sitting in your place. Or you may start the healthcare sites, maternity or child birth center, or set up a travels medicines clinics. Or you may develop a holistic healthcare app by which you can share the entire informations about the diseases. Or you may advise the peoples on daily nutrition basis as a nutritional experts. and provide in-home medical services and build a mobile healthcare app through which your friends, your juniors, or your seniors, or your teachers, or your relatives, everybody will get the informations about the current informations or upgradations of new drugs or new medicines comes into the markets, and physical therapy centers or diabetics care centers or so many rehabilitation centers or any sectors you may invest. There is a huge opportunity for such type of entrepreneurship areas. So, and if you have any questions, I'm just given my platforms open for all my participants. And before concluding these presentations, it may be very short, but you may think that the informations what you are getting is just certain ideas where you may invest after your graduations or post graduations if you have any money or if you have some capitals. So thank you very much, Dr. Sheikh Abdul Rahman sir and other faculty members and the management given me these beautiful opportunities, and thank you government of Andhra Pradesh for sharing my knowledge, sharing my ideas to my young minds. Thank you everyone. If you have any questions, you may raise your questions.
Sir, Dr. Swain, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, in regarding the question, sir. So I am asking you the small question, sir.
Sir.
Sir, being a pharma professionals, so which area is exactly better to start their own entrepreneurship?
Yeah. I can suggest, because you see, I am not a big businessman or I am a simple academicians or researchers. As per my knowledge or the literatures or the current market search or market research, I mean to say, if we'll start any diagnostic center, not only in the COVID period or maybe the post-COVID scenario, so the small diagnostic centers, it may give better impact to the society, or you may serve for the society where not only your benefit or it will be benefit to the common peoples or common human beings. So you may start with the diagnostic center is the best idea, I mean to say.
Now there is a huge openings in medical coding department, sir.
Okay.
There
No,
is a
see, you
sir.
see, yeah, see, sir, the coding part and most of the corporate companies or CROs, so they have already started a 15 years or 10 years back, and if same thing if you start, I think they are the competitor for you, and you don't have that much market collaborations or research. When initially if you start with medical coding or some medical transcriptions or some type of medical database business, there is a chance of failure, because how many peoples are browsing your systems of data or your transcriptions of the ideas related to medicines, related to disease or complications or adverse drug reactions or whatever the are related to disease or related to medicines. The same informations they are getting in other part of the system. So better you can start. There is a physical presence is required, and the people should come and they can interact, and they will go and they will interact with the other peoples, and they will share that what kind of facility you are providing and how you are giving the best service to them. And this type of transmissions of data is very important. If you are keeping the data in your system and not sharing to the others, I think there is no reality will come in the future, because the reality within the system only. So that's why my intention is to say that you start the physical infrastructure. That is very important. If you develop the physical infrastructures and the quality of service related to healthcare products or healthcare system, so initially there is a chance of failure or risks or challenges, but the opportunity will be better in the future. So okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Someone asked a question, sir. Can you explain what is the difference between pharmaceutical and nutraceuticals?
Issue there is a two different kind of statements. pharmaceuticals related to drugs or the chemicals what you are doing related to starting from dispensing. This is very simple way what you are studying. If any students they are starting their career in pharmacies, they knows that starting from dispensing to the deliveries, and in the middle stage from manufacturing or quality control whatever is there, you have to follow in the entire pharmaceuticals part, and it is having every pill there is there is a pill. So like that is pharmaceuticals, but in nutraceuticals is completely different statements. So you have to see the prebiotics probiotics in herbal products, and there is a lack of adverse drug reactions. So these nutraceutical products mainly uh, aggravates the systems of your GITs for better digestions, better nutritions, or better health wellness. So that is completely different than pharmaceuticals. So there is a lack of adverse drug reactions or side effects, and you can minimize by utilizing the nutraceuticals products for any disease cases. If you consume for regularly, I think your system of digestions or system of immunities may be better as compared to pharmaceuticals. Hello.
Hello, sir. Sir, some of the another questions is there, sir. What is the opportunities that are available for B Pharma graduates in nutraceutical industry?
You see, sir, some sound is coming, sir.
Sir, wait. In the chat box, sir, some of the students are asking the questions, sir.
Hmm.
So that's why, sir. Another lower hands.
You see, I can tell you because once you start the nutraceuticals industry or nutraceuticals product based industries, what actually this product, this is basically for nutritions only, and it is used as just like medicines. And nutraceutical products maybe it is one type of substances which physiologically benefit and provides protections against the chronic diseases. If you are suffering with chronic diseases like diabetes or hypertension, thyroid, or any chronic diseases cases, the nutraceutical product is giving better therapies as compared to other alternative treatments. So if you are planning from industries like for nutraceuticals, is a good opportunity you may start, because whatever the nutraceuticals product you want to develop in your companies or new business, so this is just fighting or competitive with the market products of synthetic product available in the market. And like so many company in India is also currently they are giving nutraceutical products, herbal products. Okay. Sir, any questions, sir?
Sir, what are the skills which are required to establish their own entrepreneur and startups?
Yeah, I told you the key parameters which is required for starting of any any business or any entrepreneurships in the field of paramedical science or health science. You will see these are the most important key factors you have to see. What is the market potential, strategic skill and exits opportunities, resource availabilities, scalability, that means capacity to be changed in size or scales, return on investments, exits, valuations, multiplications, faster EBITDA break events, next patient awareness, reimbursement, insurance coverage, and existing surface coverage. So this you have to plan. Not only the market potential means don't think that only one small scale industry prospect wise. You have to think if you are starting this business or this new entrepreneurship, really this is a competitive my product or my business with the existing business nearby market or just within the city or within the state or not. In that way, you have to search the literatures and you have to plan why your entrepreneurship will give more impact than the others existing market values. So value propositions is very important, and you have to find out the percentage of market potential in the last 10 years and the upcoming 10 years. You have to propose it. If you are investing this, and then how much you'll get in the next subsequent years. And if there is a failures, then why it is failure, and what is the assessment, and you have to rectify the assessment every years, and based on that you have to invest for the next year. And statistics plan is very important, in which way you are planning and what is your strategies. Because without proper strategy, if you are not executing your strategy of your plan, not only the building investment or equipment investment, manpower investment, employability scheme, or whatever it may be, or growth sector or inflation sectors, all the sectors you have to consider in every year, not in 1 year only investment. In next year I will not concentrate on the investment, because the innovations is important. Investment means in all the sectors, not in one sectors. Sometimes what we are doing, any businessman, they are investing in 1 year infrastructures. Next 5 years they are not doing the renovations, or they are not maintaining the system of infrastructure. So there is a chance of failure. And resources is very important. What kind of resources we are giving towards the electricity, towards the technical exports, or manpowers, equipments, other facilities, including your transports, every aspects. The resources ability is very important. And the investment and the expenditures is completely, if it is balanced in 1 or 2 years, maybe in the next third years or fourth years there is a huge income. Raymond,
Sir,
sir, are you? Yeah.
next question, sir. What is the role of CO Q10 in the human physiology?
Human,
Human physiology.
I think in short form, CO is different abbreviations, maybe a course outcomes. Am I true? It's course outcomes. Hello, because I
Sir,
want to know what is that CO. What is the CO? CO is meaning is
sir,
different.
some of the peoples are asking the question, sir. So that's why.
Yeah, yeah. I'm actually, if you can say that human physiology. Let us, whatever you have studied already for your diploma or degree programs, what is your course outcomes? Because
Hello.
programs outcome, programs specific outcomes, course outcomes, or education's outcomes is completely different. If you are studied in human physiology chapter, anatomy or physiology, how this course outcomes impact the human physiology, in which way it will impact. Really, the organs related problems, the tissue related problems, the vein related problems, artery related problems, and what is the entire physiology of our human bodies. If you have studied, then definitely you can find out what is our course objectives. Because if you don't have any ideas about the anatomy or physiology of kidney, then you maybe face the problem what kind of disorders related to kidney. And if you know all these things, anatomy, physiology of kidney, that is in starting from nephron and the functions of nephrons and the parts of the kidneys, then the disease related to the kidneys, according to that what kind of investment you can plan, so that you can go for dialysis centers, nephropathic centers, or dialysis technician you may appoint in your centers, so that they can help to the common people who are having certain problems related to kidney and other organs. So physiology and anatomy is very important aspects. Because of that, in every semesters or every whether it is a diploma or a degree, the preliminary concept is that anatomy and physiology. Without anatomy and physiology, you may not go to the third year or fourth year of B Pharm, or maybe in the higher classes. I mean to say how extent I am explaining related to CO. If the CO is meaning is different, it may the concept of explanations is different. Yeah, Falmos says, any other questions? Oh, that is Q10. coenzymes, I think spelling may be in different. Enzymes and coenzymes is completely different. You know, Q10 enzymes, isoenzymes, apoenzymes. The enzymatic systems in our body, whether it is enzymatic system or any nutraceuticals or proteins, a balanced diet is very very important for our health. So for that, if any malnutrition is there, because in Indian scenarios, if you see 10 years back or in the current scenarios, still in India, malnutrition is the major healthcare problem. So you may start your entrepreneurship related to nutritional export. So if you start nutritional exports, then you can say what type of enzymatic systems is required for digestions, what kind of proteins is required for balancing the body system. So like that. This is the new areas where you may start.
Mr. Sudhakar, please unmute and you ask the question. Mr. Sudhakar. Sudhakar, you can ask the question. I ask.
I think Sudhakar written, is it audible or not something?
I think, sir. Some of another question is there, sir. The opportunity of B Pharmacy graduates in abroad and
Yeah.
it armed forces.
Yeah, you see, not only the opportunities related to your graduations, why you are thinking that graduation is enough to, build your career at abroad. You have to think for post graduations or PhD programs, then you go and settle there. Just if you go after graduations, and then you may not survive for a long time because of your qualification is graduation only. If you do post graduations again, if you pursue your research in a particular domain or area, then it may helpful for sustainability of the job. And if you see the opportunity in abroad after your graduations, you may join as a pharmacist, whether it is a clinical pharmacist or hospital pharmacist in developing nations in US, UK, Canada, or in France. And these countries are recruiting more pharmacists from India or from Malaysia or from Singapore. Why? Because they need more healthcare professionals or paramedical staffs. You may join in the corporate hospitals or in private hospitals. Salary may be good as compared to Indian scenarios, but let us do the master programs, and after that you may plan for abroad, or you may do your MS course with scholarship or internship. And this scholarship will give sometimes sometimes of relaxations to your mind. You may think that no, because of MS program I can do certain projects that NIH projects, and that in the NIH project you become a trainer, or you become a project coordinator, or you become a project expert. And due to that you may get your stipend of more than 1.5 lakhs or 2 lakhs as per the Indian currencies. But apart from this job opportunity, you may enter into the industry also. But initially, you will face problem because of visa issues, or because of reference, or some immigrations issues, or sometimes you will not find the job area or job portals where the job opportunity is there. If you have some reference or somebody is there in the same domain, they can give certain ideas where the opportunity is there and how you will grasp the opportunities and which sector it is better for build your career in long time in abroad. So you have to think in that way, because I can't say that after graduations you may get diversified job opportunities. But if you do post graduations or PhD, and if you go to abroad, then you have wider scope compared to narrow scope. Okay.
Good morning, sir. Sir, myself
Yes,
Asha,
good
assistant
morning.
professor from Nirmala College of Pharmacy. Sir,
Yes.
I have a question regarding medical devices. What would be the major constraints we should look into if we choose medical devices to become an entrepreneur, sir?
Yeah, thank you, madam. Very good questions. You see, I have not started such type of business, but I can tell you certain idea which may helpful for your new plan or new investment. When you will
Yes,
start the medical devices, first of all, you have to see the market. Some background sound is coming. Okay. Yeah. When you will start any medical devices business, let us see how many medical related devices related entrepreneurs is available in near your place or near your cities. That is first criteria. If there is a availability of the medical devices, and if you're starting the business, same business, and in which way you are offering to the customers. Sound actually. Yeah. So this the nearby market values you have to first find out the things, and which type of medical devices you have to do your business. You may start with that some kit, medical devices kit, because initially you have to invest with low cost medical devices. Later on you can expand it, because if you will provide the medical equipments just like vendors or suppliers, you may tie off with the other vendors, and you have to make a good business relationship, and that good business relationship they will give certain ideas, and from them whatever the ideas you are getting, let us you can expand your ideas, and you start the small kit to the big kit. For example, I can tell you from starting from centrifuge machine or centrifuge kits to the next devices which is required for operational theaters, or required for advanced imaging technologies, required for dialysis, required for trauma and emergency disaster management. So this type of department needs always devices. So what kind of devices required? Let us you find and what is the current price if you will start this business, where you should get this product, and what is the export and input expenses, and then you invest it. But main thing is that hospital based medical devices is everywhere available, but when if you think that whatever the medical devices is required for research lab, required for diagnostic centers, required for cancer cells, or any advanced research location, so that type of devices you may plan. But I can't say that this is the specific and this is not specific. You have to plan according to the demand or according to the supply. So always you have to plan in that way. Okay, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Sir, someone asking the question, sir. After B
Hmm.
Pharmacy, which course is the best, M Pharmacy or Pharma D?
Yeah, you see, I think students may be the B Farm graduate. Any course is good for you. Whatever the course you are taking, whether you're taking pharmaceutical chemistry, analysis, PG program, or pharmacy 6-year programs, but as you are doing B Pharmacy, maybe your durations of program is a little bit shorter. But all program is equally important from my side. I don't say that this is a good and that is bad. No, how you are getting what is your knowledge and what is your technical skills, and how you are upgrading the knowledge after B Pharmacy or after post graduation, whether it is a pharmacy or PG specializations of different subjects. If you are entering into the industry, entering into the
YouTube lo
corporate
play
world,
feedback.
or if you are going to the hospitals, or you are going to the industries, you see how you are executing your job profile. That is very important, and don't think that this subject is having huge demand and that subject is not demand, or this specialization is demand. No, not like that. Whatever the course you completed, what is your graduation or post graduations, if you are sitting in front of the recruiters, or the HR persons or HR head or the managers, if you are explaining, no, I know something about my topic, or something about my subject, whether it is a pharmacy programs or something. You see, pharmacy nowadays is huge demand in abroad, or in huge demand in basically in southern part of our India, because nowadays government of most of the state governments have given the opportunity for pharmacy students can start the duty doctors, clinical doctors. So you may compete with the MBBS or MD personal. So I think Pharmady is having huge demands. Maybe she initially there is a struggles for a period of 1 2 months, but later on once you will get the idea, okay, there is the opportunity, so I should reach to that place and I have to grasp that opportunities. Then you can extend the job profile, and if you are satisfied with your job profile, no need to change the job. If you are unsatisfied about the job profile, you may change it. So any sector, any specializations, whether it is a pharmacy or the specializations of chemistry, statistics, analysis, ecology, biotechnology, microbiologies, how you gain the knowledge, and you how you are exploring the knowledge, that is very important, because explorables knowledge is very important, and how technically you are feasible and how technically you are expert after your graduation or post graduation, that is important. Industry need the technical persons. Industry, they need non-technical persons. Non-technical persons available everywhere, 10 pass, 10 plus 2 pass candidate, but you are professionally qualified students, B Farm or postgraduates or pharmacy students. Not only the industry, hospitals need, corporate needs, CRO needs, government schemes nowadays due to this COVID, huge demand for pharma professionals. So my better advice to all my dear students or the participants who have connected these forums, so you always think that each and every course having their own potential. Don't think that my course is much more better than other courses. Not like that. You can give always equal importance, but how you are exploring, how you are transferring the knowledge, how you are grasp the job, and how you are maintaining the job, that is very important. How you have their own talent or not, how you are depending on the others, how you are cooperating with the others, how you are maintaining the systems. So everything is depends on your system suitabilities. If you are suitable with your systems, definitely you will flourish your future, whether it's a pharmacy programs or BPharm or PG programs. This is my advice for myself. Thank you. Yeah, one student is written that what is best job after this, and how in which way we will grow faster. You see, nobody can say that faster. I told you, na, and there is not, the best way to predict the future is to create it. That is my statement. And my statement is that how you have your hidden talent, and how creative you are, in which way you have to impress to your boss, which way you have to impress your system or your team members, and how you have sustained your job profile, that is very important. You don't think that how fastly I will learn everything. It is not possible. Experience is required, some dedication is required, some honestiness is required, some perseverance is required, some type of suggestions you may utilize from your seniors, from your teachers, from your principals, and from your management. So without proper guidance, if you think that I will start the business today and tomorrow you will succeed, but there is a chance of day after tomorrow failure, because it's a completely competitive world. So you have to motivate, and you have to go with all, not all with one. Okay, anything else?
Sudhakar, can you ask any question? Yeah, Divya, you ask any question, ma'am? L Divya. Hello, Divya, can you ask any question?
I think voice not audible, sir.
Sudhakar, can you ask any questions? So no. Okay, sir. Thank you for giving feedback, sir, and good sharing the information, sir. Rahman, sir, can you ask any question?
Sir, Dr. Swain, sir, so very informative and nice session, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, and delegates also, they have asked several questions, and have clearly clarified queries asked by delegates, faculty members.
Sir, some of the questions, Mr. Balaji Bala, you can unmute and you talk to you, sir. Balaji Bala. You can unmute and you talk to you, sir. No, sir. Okay, sir. Continue, sir. Rahman, sir. Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you for giving this information and a very nice session, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Valmosas.
So once again, we are very much thankful to the APSSTC for providing good opportunity to us on behalf of Nirmala Kamsi. It is the day to successfully we have completed with the able guidance of APSSTC team.
So thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir. And Swain sir, thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us. Even though you may be busy with your regular assignments, so still you have spent around 1 hour 10 minutes, 1 hour 15 minutes for us. So thank you very much, sir. And I request all the delegates tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all. Thank you to all, and thank you, sir. Thank you
Right.
once again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sudhakar, sir.
Bye, sir.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Rahman sir, for your beautiful opportunities, and thank you, Government of Andhra Pradesh, for
Thank you, sir.
such innovative skill development programs. Thank you, everyone, and the coordinators of this program, Dr. Palmur sir, and other faculty members, management, and students, and staff, supporting staff, for giving this opportunity for me. Again, thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.